Well, why don't you take a minute right now and think about your retirement? You probably picture yourself enjoying it, right? Traveling, spending time with family, maybe even picking up a new hobby. But for many retirees, taxes can drain their savings faster than expected, leaving them with far less to enjoy the retirement they worked so hard for. Joining us to discuss how to avoid all that, Laurel and Taylor Steward from Mattson Financial Services, a firm that's been helping people retire successfully right here in West Michigan for decades. You can also catch them on their popular radio show, Money Mentors. Laurel, Taylor, welcome back once more. Love talking taxes.
I know. We're never going to stop, right? It's an education moment.
Taxes they can be a huge hurdle for people entering retirement.
Absolutely, and I don't think people realize when they think retirement, they think income,
right?
And just, hey, I can take 4%. That's the general rule, right? I'll be fine. But really, you're missing this wide net that taxes touch every little thing as you go through these milestones.
Taylor, have you had people come in and say, we thought we were going to be jet skiing, and now we can't afford a moped or a bicycle because of what we just mentioned, that taxes took a big chunk out of it, and now they're not getting the retirement they thought they were going to get.
Yeah, I've had that a couple times, and more times we're going through this plan. I say we are going to have a problem that you guys didn't even know is there, right? So let's use RMDs. You turn RMD age, you've got to take out that required minimum amount, and let's say you were in the tippy top of the 12% tax bracket, roughly $100,000 of income, and now your RMDs are $40,000 or $50,000, right? That's a 10% tax increase from the 12 to 22. Well, I mean, that 10% on 150 grand, that's $15,000 a year. So if we just wouldn't have done anything or not planned for that, that's $15,000 this year and next year and year after year. And then what if tax rates change and they revert back to what they were in 2017?
Sure.
And that's another 3% increase on top of that. So again, it's really looking at where we're at today, working with your current CPA, looking at your most recent tax return. That tells a pretty good picture as far as where we're at, where those opportunities are. And now it's my job to work with that tax preparer CPA saying, hey, what if we do some of these strategies for, let's start looking more long-term, not in the next 12 months. What can we do?
I can only assume beyond personal spending habits that taxes are probably the biggest issue of people saying, hey, I might run out of money, right? They're thinking, I'm going to run out of money in retirement because of these taxes. I'm assuming this planning helps prevent that from happening.
Absolutely, because now we're diversifying amongst the different types of buckets, and then there aren't these surprises come tax time, or aren't these surprises say, hey, I wanted to take money out of my 401k, I'm pre-59 and a half, so now you've got federal tax, you've got state tax, you've got a penalty because you're not 59 and a half, so what you think you need for $30,000 net to spend might cost you $40,000 or $45,000. And not everybody's trained to know that, and nor do we expect you to, but somebody should definitely be along your side as your trusted advisory firm to educate you through this. You're gonna call us and say, my roof is leaking, I need a new one, and I need 30 grand, and we're gonna say, okay, Todd, we're gonna crunch the numbers, tell you where to take it from, look at those tax brackets, and say, here's the plan, right? And you say, oh, wonderful, right? Like, we want you to enjoy retirement, that's what you deserve to do.
And there's this thing, taxable and tax-free, right, when it comes to income. And you've mentioned it a couple of times of where people should be putting their money. Can you describe the difference between the taxable and the tax-free?
Yeah, absolutely. So taxable, think of your traditional 401k, that pre-tax money. You put, let's say you contribute $10,000 to your 401k pre-tax, it lowers your W-2 wages by $10,000 because you're not paying taxes on that.
Good for the now.
Good for the now.
Okay.
But that compounds in years and years down the road, going back to that RMDs, now you have to start taking it. You've never paid taxes on it. So now that might be enough to bump you up to the next tax bracket, maybe make more of your Social Security taxable, things like Medicare as well. So what we look at is doing what's called a Roth conversion, potentially taking a little bit out, enough to fill up your tax bracket this year. Let's take it out, pay the taxes now. Let's put it into the Roth where now it grows tax-free. So later on down the road, you have that roof and you pull that $25,000 out. That's all you're really pulling out is $25,000 because there's no tax.
Yes.
Correct.
Yep. And it's not taccountable income.
Exactly.
On your W-2.
So you pull the 25 out, you already paid taxes on it, you're not going to pay taxes on it again, and it's not going to count towards your income.
Correct.
So you would pay more taxes.
And you're not forced to have required minimum distributions from that type of account where you are absolutely forced at age 73 right now to start taking out, regardless if you need the income or not.
Yeah, you said 59 and a half, you said 73, you said a lot of numbers. Guess what? Guess what? People are thinking about
Yeah.
what they want to feed their kids for dinner. Okay,
Right, yeah.
Right.
You know, where they're going to get to soccer practice. They're
Exactly.
thinking, that's why having you guys in our corner is such a blessing. And you're fiduciaries, which means you put your clients legally bound to put your clients' interests before your own.
Yep.
So I mean, let's get people in your door. Let's get people
Appreciate
talking
that.
about
Yeah.
that.
And I think, you know, for the first 5 callers here, if you save $250,000 or more for retirement, we're offering you to meet with us complimentary, because we want to educate you, we want to mentor you, we want you to feel confident so you can live the stress-free retirement you deserve. And then you just call us when you're like, ooh, I've got that gut feeling, or ooh, I have a question. That's what we're here for, to be your trusted contact.
Polita, I've talked to you guys now for well over a couple of years, and
Yeah.
and even that many conversations, I don't think I've retained half of what you know. So it's so glad to be able to walk in and just say, you guys know this stuff,
and
you got
say
this.
it time and time again, and that's
Yeah.
okay with us too. You know.
It's a great offer too, and it's an incredible opportunity for you if you're in or near retirement. Don't let taxes devour your savings. Don't be the one who's like, oh, I wish I'd known. Laurel, Taylor, and their team are going to help you create a more efficient retirement plan so you can keep more of your money where it belongs, with you. The team's going to sit down with you personally to customize an enhanced retirement plan just for you. A comprehensive plan that includes a look at your investments, income sources, taxes, and so much more to get you to and through that retirement you deserve. Reserve one of those spots now. Call 800-536-8907. That's 800-536-8907.